In recent days, a lot of people have come forward and said things like, well, how come, for example, when something happens in the Jewish community, they are able to go all the way if they need to go to Washington and writing to the White House to discuss the issue? My brothers and sisters, you have to understand that you are dealing with a group of people that have been ingrained in European and Western culture for a very long time. Now, it's not that Muslims don't understand European and Western culture. I mean, you look at the Quran, it talks about the sun, it talks about the moon, it talks about reading, it talks about writing, it talks about inheritance, it talks about business transactions. See, my brothers and sisters, one is it talks about it and we talk about it, and that's as far as it goes. When it comes to the Jews and certain Christian groups, they don't just talk about it. When they see those rules and regulations, they are now trying to make it a reality for everyone. And the way in which you make it a reality for everyone is that you have to be part of the educational system. And it's from a young age, they grab you. They teach you the value of the English language. And everyone knows the one that controls language controls the future of that generation. So they have control over the educational system, not just basic schools such as primary and high school, etc., but even the college system. Not only the college system, they have invested in huge foundations, buildings, and all these type of things that are now going to be not only hiring professors and giving scholarships to students, but these individuals are later going to represent their values. Why? I mean, if I'm going to give you $1 million or $5 million, are you not going to represent my views later on? You may not like me, but trust me, money can change a lot of things. So many Muslims are saying things like, yes, let's put our money together and let's stand for this and let's stand for that. My brothers and sisters, there was one person that told me a long time ago, he was talking about some issue and he says, some people are so cheap, all they can do is throw money. What did he say? Some people are so cheap, all they can do is throw money on others to buy them out. It's not about just money. It's about the system. Yes, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have quote-unquote imams, but we all are called worker bees. We are not building our own masjids. How many imams you know that go and say, you know what? I'm going to be doing this and that on the side, and I'm going to put my money together, and I'm going to be building my own masjid, and I'm going to be starting my own academics, etc., etc. No. How many doctors you know that say, you know what, it's wonderful being a doctor, but rather than just building a house and just getting something going, let me now work with other doctors to build our own hospital, and not just hospital, hospitals in every city. No, you're not going to see that very often, because the first argument is, do you know how much it costs? Do you know this? Do you know that? The same thing with the legal fraternity. The same thing with engineering. The same thing with architects. I'm not saying Muslims are not successful. Muslims are very successful. But most of our success is worker bee oriented, meaning working for someone that is above us. Whereas when you look at the other groups out there, they are the ones in charge of it all. They are the ones that are hiring the worker bees and paying them very well, of course, no doubt about that. So we have a false sense of authority, a false sense of success, my brothers and sisters. And this false sense of success is really now showing, for example, when we don't have enough leverage, quote unquote, with necessarily the DA's office. Not that to say we should have any leverage or not, that's a separate issue. So my brothers and sisters, we have a lot of thinking to do. We need to get everything from the ground all the way up. And by the way, don't just tell me, oh, we need an Islamic school. That is just the beginning. You need an Islamic school. You need a school in general. You need an Islamic college. You need colleges in general. In other words, you need influence. You need professors. You need teachers. And you need all of them, not just influencing Muslims, but other groups as well. When people look at you, they must say, these people are willing to make a contribution beyond just being worker bees. So again, as we conclude, this is not a gloom and doom type of story. What I'm saying is, it's not always about money. It's not about just winning a case. It's not about just getting the word out there. It's about becoming successful in every area: social media, regular mass media, understanding the dynamics of relationships, understanding the dynamics of psychology, communicating it, doing research in that field, having a narrative that lines up with what you are thinking. My brothers and sisters, I don't know how to tell it to you, but we need to move away from just talking and get onto the foundational layer and start building all the way up. And this is not a 5-year project. It's not a 10-year project. Others have been doing it for 50 and 60 years. And we have to find a way to begin on this journey. May Allah help us and guide us. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.